We're joined now by Congressman Steve Scalise, who got a big shout out by the president tonight, deservedly so. A bipartisan, round of applause. Probably one of the few things on which both sides agreed, and happily so. You are the House Majority Whip, Congressman. You're in fighting shape. Glad to see you back. The president laid out a pretty aggressive agenda, but in a kinder, gentler, more reserved tone. What did you think?
Neil, I thought it was just an incredibly inspiring speech. You know, he obviously talked about the successes of the tax cut bill, which there are many, and he featured a lot of them, and he featured how it's impacted working families. You know, the Democrats just talk about the rich. The President Trump's tax cuts are actually helping people get out of the bottom, get into the middle class, become part of the American dream. And then he laid out a bolder vision for America, all across the board on so many different issues. And I thought he touched so many great tones, and he featured so many people that have done heroic things that point out what is great about America. And if you couldn't be inspired by what this president talked about, you really must have a thin layer of skin, a thick layer of skin that needs to be peeled back.
No, I noticed, and these are typical of these events, but Democrats really weren't taking the bait when he was referring to some of these excesses in our immigration that have produced tragedies like these parents had to deal with, losing children to MS-13 gangs, many of whom got here under the most nefarious of situations with the best intentions of chain migration, all this other stuff. Did that resonate, though? Did it put a new wrinkle on this? The president has been deemed everything but clueless to a racist on this, that he wanted to reframe the debate.
Well, you know, Neil, for so long they've tried to dismiss these claims. You know, President Trump ran on this issue front and center. He talked about rapists, he talked about gang members, and they just treated him as if he was making this stuff up. And so to actually get families who were the victims of some of these people who have come here illegally with ill intent, gang members and others, and to show just what they've done and why it's so important we secure our border just like every other nation does, it really resonated. And it really isolated those radical liberals who want to stand in the way of the rule of law and us securing our own borders. Most people in this country agree we should secure our borders. How they could sit down and disagree with that kind of policy and not respect the fact that there are real families who are hurting and who have lost loved ones to gang members who have come here illegally. Let's clamp down on these loopholes that are out there and actually get back to rule of law.
All right. Infrastructure, next up. The president says the bipartisan commitment is there. Quickly, sir, is it?
We haven't really started the process of coming together on just how the details would work. Like any big bill, how that's put together is going to be important. We're still grappling with a few other things right now. We just today passed a Defense Department appropriations bill. President Trump actually gave a big shout out to that today, and I thought it was important that we give our men and women in uniform the tools they need. The president talked about that tonight. I hope the Senate takes up that bill and not just get Republican votes, but get Democrat votes too.
Steve Scalise, I'm so back in the saddle and putting up the good fight. I think those on the left and right are happy as well. Thank you, sir, very much.
Great to be back, Neil. Great to be with you.